Hello everybody, today I thought I would talk about something that I haven't talked about on my channel before, and that's Fnaf. I've been a Fnaf fan for 7 years, and I've never talked about it on my channel, but with Ruin coming out, I thought I'd talk about Security Breach, and Ruin, and the fans, and the lore. The Five Nights at Freddy's lore has always been a thing since Five Nights at Freddy's 1, with the whole lore community and trying to decipher what each thing means. But when Security Breach came out, everyone was just losing their mind over how it ruined all of the lore and didn't make any sense. But to me, the FNAF lore never really made any sense, so I didn't really get it. Despite me being a FNAF fan for so long, I never really got into any of the lore stuff by like MatPat or anything. More power to the people who try to decipher the FNAF lore and try to make all of the games fit together and make sense. If that's their job or that's what they like to do, more power to you, but I just never really got it. I mean, I understand most of the lore and I've heard a lot of the theories, but I really just never got the point because FNAF's lore has never really been consistent or has fit together into one cohesive puzzle. It's sort of just a lot of stuff mixed together, and a lot of it is made by the fans themselves. Many people, especially people outside of the FNAF fandom, think that it's sort of an essential part of being a FNAF fan to know all the lore about all of the games and all the theories and read all the books, but most FNAF fans don't do any of that. I always just thought how funny it was how people would get so upset when Security Breach came out and William Afton came back, and it makes sense for people like MatPat or people who spend all of their time like trying to decipher the FNAF lore because it makes their job harder, but for the casual fan, I just don't get it. I mean, William Afton comes back as kind of the whole point of FNAF. To me, it never really made any sense how many times he came back to begin with, even before Security Breach. To me, all the FNAF lore and stuff was always just stupid. It never made any sense. Like, it's fun stupid, but like none of it ever worked together or made any sort of logical sense. I thought all of the people who thought that FNAF was going for a cohesive story left the fandom long ago, but apparently I was wrong. I get why people didn't like Security Breach. It was a very janky game that had a lot of bugs, and it became a thing for people to try to play the game glitchless because it was super hard to play the game and have nothing break. And honestly, I don't really think that indicates the game ever had a very good reputation. Most people who I saw that enjoyed the game were people who thought that FNAF could do no wrong, or people who just found the entire Security Breach experience and just how badly made it was funny. And with Ruin coming out, people seem to think the game aspect that the gameplay aspects and the lore parts of it are pretty decent, and I haven't heard anyone say anything really bad yet other than people saying that it's either boring or too easy, which is a lot better than Security Breaches being I can't even load the game or play it because it's so broken. And what I've noticed that I never really noticed before Security Breach came out is there's a lot of toxic OG fans in the community. And I never really got why people got so mad. And I never really get why some people get so mad with new fans joining the fandom and liking the show because of newer media. Because doesn't that just mean it's more likely for them to go back and also watch and see all of the older stuff that came out beforehand? I guess it's just the universal experience of the OG fan superiority complex. Or maybe some OG FNAF fans just believe that Security Breach fans are just lesser beings because they like such a bad game. Personally, I just think all of the FNAF fans should get along. In a perfect world, all the fans of Security Breach or Ruin or the original FNAF games, or whether someone even played any of the games at all, or they like lore, or they don't like lore, or people who only played FNAF World. Everyone should just get along and be happy, sunshine and all that. Because, in all honesty, I'm just happy to see FNAF content still coming out after all this time. And even if it's bad, I don't get sad, I just find it funny. So overall, with lore, people should probably just find their own canon within all of the lore and stuff out there for FNAF. Just pick and choose what you like and make your own canon, because none of it makes sense anyway. Or you can believe the MatPats theories out there if you want to. No one really cares and it doesn't really make sense anyway, so you might as well just do what you want. Also, the opinion for Ruin seems to be pretty good for the one person that I've seen play it. I think all the concepts in it are interesting with like the AR world and the real world. It reminds me of Frambo. I think it's pretty cool. I like that whole concept. And while I do agree there could have been more to the game, and it could have been scarier or harder, and it became sort of like a puzzle game, and it doesn't really matter to me because, I mean, the reason that we're all playing it or watching someone play it is because we like FNAF. That's mostly why. So all in all, I hope to see the fandom absolutely explode again like it did after Security Breach came out, but with Ruin this time, which I've already sort of seen. I always like to see when a new FNAF game comes out, the fandom just absolutely explodes and there's a whole bunch of new content that comes out. Always excited for that, and I'm also excited to see the speedrunners in the community try to beat FNAF Ruin without using the mask or without walking or jumping or being alive. So go out there, FNAF fans, and enjoy your game where a serial killer murdered a bunch of kids and somehow it turned into a massive pizzeria in a world where bears no longer exist. Bye.